Wisconsin, every time it gets like 60 degrees, I just have more optimism. Yeah. I feel a little bit more euphoric, a little bit more energy, a little more excitement.
Well, we got
summer's on its way.
Brad Nortman and Kyle Wallace grinning ear to ear about the weather.
We're euphoric about it. I like the way Brad said that. He opened his arms.
Yes, as you can see Kyle doing spirit fingers on YouTube at ESPN Madison and at ESPN Milwaukee. You can get on the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line 800-990-3776. Again, 800-990-ESPN. But we have to start where everyone's been crying all weekend long, I'd say. And now all day long, because we can't get out of the storming of the court nonsense. For those who missed it, Wake Forest upset, I put air quotes because they were favored in that game. They were an unranked team that beat Duke, and there was a court storm that happened. One of Duke's players, Kyle Filikowski, he's an NBA top 10 mock draft pick for the lottery, and he got hurt, and I'm not here to decipher what he did or what the court stormer did and whatnot. It just has come down to way too many people trying to ruin something that is fixable. And it's 110% fixable, and it doesn't even need that much change. And it's court storming. Everyone wants to rain on the parade of these college kids who are there to enjoy the game, have a good time, and if there is an upset in their mind or not, they want to celebrate with the team and create an experience that they'll remember forever. And as somebody who's been a part of a court storm for a positive, in 2013 when we beat Michigan, they were number 3 in the country, we were unranked, stormed the court. They held me up. It was amazing. Next year, fast forward, at Indiana, 16-0 in our best start in school history. We lost. We were 3-0 in Big Ten play, lost that game. Indiana, the Hoosiers, which was embarrassing, mind you, Indiana, they want to be a blue blood. They stormed the court on us. Nebraska, end of the year, stormed the court on us. And where I want to go with this is there are solutions to people not getting run over. First and foremost, you don't need to have everyone run all at once. Like, a lot of these games are over. There are minimal amounts of games. 10 to 20% of the games go to the buzzer, and those are where I think you need more solutions. A lot of these games, they're 5-7-point games. I've seen coaches of opposing teams and of the winning team call timeout to get the players off the court and let the fans then run in there. How about the PA announcer with a minute to go? You know how many timeouts are at the end of these damn games? Way too many. It takes forever for basketball games to end, NBA or college. They always say this is the longest minute of your life. It could be 20 because you don't know if there's going to be turnovers, free throws, timeouts, this, that. You get on the PA and you say, we are okay with you storming the court. Please, you have to guide people. You have to have some sort of plan. Security guards, right? There is security. Don't just let them all come from one area. Funnel them into a different area, right? Leave an area for court storming. Don't put the bench of an opposing team by the student section. There's solutions. I can go on and on and on about ways that you can make sure that players stay safe. We're not about to go up in arms and end court storming, which has been happening for 50 years. Because we are dumb enough as a society to not figure out a way when there are solutions to control it.
You know, fans in college sports, students particularly, they're an integral part of the game, right? I mean, college sports, it just makes you think of the camaraderie, the excitement, the organic passion that is brought by the fans, particularly the student section. I mean, that is what you think about when you think about a game. It's one of the big things that separates a pro game from a college game is a whole student section, chants, excitement, all that kind of stuff. So to me, doing away completely with court storming is now the issue today. And to Ben's experience, I was a part of a field storming in our benefit when Wisconsin beat Ohio State when they were number 1 at Camp Randall.
Really fun.
What's that?
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was a good one. I thoroughly enjoyed that too. That was a lot.
Well, I joined you. I was a freshman.
Yeah,
it was an experience.
Totally. And then I was a part of the losing side of it when we lost at Michigan State on a Hail Mary. We were the favorites, and they rushed the field against us in Wisconsin. So I've been part of both sides. I never felt threatened. I never felt endangered. I was frustrated. I was angry at a loss. It was a bunch of hammered kids around me. But you just sort of know the unwritten rule of like, don't mess with me. I won't mess with you. Just let me get to the locker room. More cases than not, nothing comes of it. Now, if you guys remember, I did hear Brad out on this.
You did.
One way to decrease issues is to only storm the courts when it's a court storming worthy game. Only then. It's happening way too often where fields in college football or courts in college basketball are being stormed, and it's not even upset. I mean, I can understand this one. I'm good with it. Wake Forest at home beat number 8 Duke, unranked, beating the 8th ranked team in the country. I'm okay with that. But there are so many games that are unworthy of the upset caliber that it takes for students to be on the field that they shouldn't be happening. So that's one. They should only be happening when it happened.
But you can't control that is the only thing. I may agree with you in theory. I'm trying to find a solution as to how we continue to let the kids have fun and not overreact to what we've seen recently.
Well, in one way, and I'll be honest too, I wonder if you feel the same way, Ben, is losing and being on the losing end of a field storming, that's an experience for the college student, right? I mean, not necessarily one you want to experience, but I wouldn't take that away. It's different to see it from those lenses.
I was like, hey, I made it. We were 16-0. Indiana Hoosiers are storming the court on us. So I was like, hey, this is great.
To me, everything is filmed. Have plenty of cameras out there, and when something happens like what happened on the court on Saturday night, have there be serious enforceable penalties if one of the players is injured, is assaulted, is something like that. I don't know who's at fault on Saturday night, but just in general, if a fan, tackles, knocks over, injures anyone else, make sure it's recorded, and then hold that fan accountable, but don't ruin it for everybody else.
Yeah, I'm going to quote the great William Shakespeare.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is all much ado about nothing. This is what it is. Like
beautiful.
people, thank you so much, Brad. And I'm not going to sit here in front like I actually know anything about Shakespeare other than what they told me in school, but not too much. But the whole thing about this man is like, listen, if you don't want somebody to storm the court, here's the first thing you have to do. I'm going to lay out some parameters. You know what you shouldn't do?
Lose.
Shouldn't lose, okay?
Yeah.
You shouldn't lose. I come from the old school thing of if you don't want somebody to do something, you stop them, especially in sports, in the competitive space that is. If you don't want somebody to storm the court, you better not take that L. That's on you, buddy. That ain't on the fans. That ain't on the other team. That is on you. The second thing is this. Be an athlete, okay? He's supposed to be top 10, you said?
Yeah.
Be an athlete. Keep your head on the swivel.
Have some awareness.
Yeah, like what are you doing? Keep your head on the swivel, be an athlete, and find a way to navigate the court or get off the court. Next thing is this, the next parameter. If you know the game is about to be over, and you are Duke, who's about to get upset by Wake Forest, the number 8 team in the country, going to Wake Forest and losing to an unranked team, and you see that you're about to lose, run off the court. Don't be like that. Because the only reason he was milling around like that is because he chose to do that. The only reason Caitlin Clark was milling around like that because she chose to do that. These weren't buzzer beaters. They made a decision to sit there and not get their behinds out the way. And then lastly, here's the thing, and Brad, you alluded to it. Enjoy the moment. Like, for real, enjoy the moment. Just understand, as Ben just said, the fact that Indiana, the fans felt so good about your team going into the game that they got the win over your team and they wanted to go and run on the court. That seems like an awesome moment to be in as a young student athlete. Enjoy that moment. But those are most of my parameters, and I'll say this last two. The reason why I say this is really much ado about nothing is because if we really cared about safety, it ain't about the player's safety. It ain't about the coach's safety. It's about the fan's safety. That's the thing you should be talking about. All these national talking heads concerned about fans running on the court, hurting players, bumps to players. It's the fact that when fans run on the court, they can cause a stampede and people can die. Like, that's a real thing. And so people sitting here concerned about these athletes who make a choice to stay on the court most of the times and the coaches making a choice not to call a timeout. If anything, y'all should be talking about the safety concern it is for students to run on a court and then get trampled. So this is all ridiculous, and this is all about what William Shakespeare said, much ado about nothing.
800-990-3776. Everybody, wants to either ban or continue the tradition of court storming. I am pro court storm. I am pro figuring out the best way to make this possible for students to achieve an experience of a lifetime in which they'll enjoy, the players will enjoy, and also like figuring out a way for the opposing team who is on the road the best way to get out of there safely. Like there is a way. If we're going to act like there's not a way, then we should just give up as society. I do want to hear from Jay Billis, who has the worst idea of everybody. This was Jay Billis of ESPN trying to figure out the best way to stop court storming.
My thing wasn't necessarily ban court storming. It was just the idea that fans don't belong on the court ever. And players don't belong in the stands. It's a pretty simple proposition. But, the NCAA and the member institutions will say the player safety is number one. But that's simply not true because they're continuing to allow this. And in fact, they're encouraging it. And the truth is, we're encouraging it in the media. We put court stormings at the end of every highlight when there's an upset. And even though it's banned in the SEC and they have to pay a $100,000 fine on the first offense and then it goes up, the institutions are happy to pay it because they like the visual. They like having that, to take pictures of it, to show it. Here's how passionate we are. And it just didn't, take a genius to say that something's going to happen. And when it does, let's not act surprised. And we've had significant injuries over this in the past, to fans especially. But the truth is, nothing's going to change now, and nothing's going to change. And if they wanted to stop it, they could stop it tomorrow. Administrators will tell you that security experts tell them that it's not a good idea to try to stop the court storming, that could cause more problems than it would solve. But you don't have to stop the court storming. One time, all you have to do is once they're on the court, don't let them off. Just say you're all detained and give them all citations or arrest them if you want to. And then court stormings will stop the next day. The fans feel like it's an entitlement, and the universities like it, and the truth is we like it.
That's Jay Billis. He wants to detain him.
Detain.
Arrest him.
I think it's like an underage drinking party in college. Nobody leave here.
I mean, you have to be careful not to legislate college sports so much to be like pro sports. There's a reason why they're different. They appeal to people in different ways. You start to take away this passion, this excitement, things like this, that gives some college students the ability to feel part of it. It's going to feel even more professional when college sports feels as professional as ever. I just don't want to see that. I don't want to see it become another professional type environment.
Yeah, I think there's so much you can do to not go to the degree of Jay Billis and saying we need to detain and give citations to people who are still on the court, and that will teach them. You know how many people got underage drinking tickets and then just didn't stop at one? All of them? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know that.
Even that, but do you think it's that easy so in most of these arenas, in college arenas, it could be bigger or smaller, but most of them are going to be like, 12,000 or more students at a minimum?
No, not that many students.
12,000? I mean, at Cole Center holds definitely, fans, not
fans.
Students. Students on the court,
couple thousand.
Yeah, a couple thousand. You think your little 5, 6, 7 officers is going to stop a whole bunch of people?
You couldn't get them off. You can't get them to not go on the court. So now you're going to contain them?
Come on now. I ain't stupid.
Could you imagine them just slowly tying a rope around the court the whole way, and then when they finally nod it, okay, send in the paddy wagon. It would be ridiculous.
No, everybody's jetting and running. It's going to be fun to do that. You're already talking about people who are inebriated. They're going to take off and run.
Yeah. 800-990-3776. If you have ideas to keep court storming, because this is not a end the court storm show, because we are pro-fun, not anti-lame, or we're anti-lame, pro-fun, against everything that stands for getting rid of the court storm.
We are anti-Ben Brust in high school.
Yes!
Oh,
yes,
wow.
We are not losers. 800-990-3776. We get your reaction and more. Kyle's got some beef with Craig Count's sellout, as we know. A ton more. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. We'll be with you soon.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Ben, I've been a fan of you since Scalzo and Brust was on the air. You kind of are like a Pat McAfee for the ESPN Milwaukee. You kind of revolutionized this channel and stuff.
Leo, I'm here for you, and I appreciate everything you say. We love you listening, and you can call in every day and say that. I won't get old.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ben Brust here for Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. It's been over 4.5 years I've worked with Zimbrick European, and it's time for you to stop on by and check out all the inventory they have to offer. You can also go to ZimbrickEuropean.com for certified pre-owns, Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, Porsche, electric vehicles, they literally have it all for you. It's your one-stop shop. Don't forget about Mercedes-Benz Sprinter vans as well. Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Check it out. You will enjoy it.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semra with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Mackenzie Zimmerman. Now you're a multiple sport athlete, basketball, and we first met when you were a freshman playing softball. Can you believe this is going to be fourth year varsity softball?
It's crazy. Seriously, I remember first time being interviewed by you. I didn't have shoes on. I ran out there in my socks, but yeah, now fourth year softball, it's crazy.
If you look at your time in Middleton, what's going to stand out the most? Now this is the largest high school in the state.
Yeah, I do say that I walk the same route to class every day and swear I see someone new every single day, but truly I do think we have a great support system here, teachers and staff. It's very nice that a lot of our coaches also work here. Just so many coaches who understand what it's like being a student athlete too, so it's great to have them around.
Do you love winning? This February, head to Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee and fall head over heels with the Love It or Leave It $400,000 game show. Thursday nights, you could play the Love It or Leave It game show where you can love your prize or leave it for another. Play with your club card to earn drawing entries. Top prize is $10 grand in cash. It's time for Love It or Leave It. Only at Potawatomi. Learn more at pacebig.com. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
Jim Rutledge here for Hanson & Sons, Madison's #1 family-owned chimney and fireplace specialist. To celebrate 71 years of service, Hanson & Sons is offering 7.1% savings on any of their new high-efficiency installed fireplaces or their expert winter masonry chimney repairs. Replace that old, dirty, wood-burning fireplace with a new high-efficiency remote-controlled gas or electric fireplace. Sale ends February 29th. Go to hansonandsons.com today for more information. That's hansonandsons.com.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Not letting society become completely lame. I don't want to speak for Brad and Kyle, but I think we are still pro court storming show, collectively.
Agreed.
Kyle, I know you are.
100% in.
All you gotta do, first and foremost, as Kyle said, win. But also have a plan. There's ways to fix this. The way that, and I see this, Steven262, the way that Wake Forest did a horrible job managing the scenario. Rope off parts of the sideline, which I've seen, you just need to have a strategy. And by the way, court storming games don't happen every single game for your team. So if you know that you have a chance to beat a team, maybe have some sort of thought process and plan for that day you might have a court storm. Because if Wake Forest plays Clemson, there's not going to be a court storm. But if you know Wake Forest is playing Duke, there could be a potential court storm.
What is roping off anything? They do
So
realize these students are going through chairs.
I know, but
jumping off stuff.
I've seen 10 security guards with a rope letting the handshake line go through. I'm saying you can have that in a certain area.
Yeah. Mr. Filipinowski, whatever the hell his name is,
He should have been by the rope area.
He should have been doing handshake. That's what we should talk about.
And you're right.
Sportsmanship. Why wasn't he taking his behind in the line to shake hands?
What you had said earlier, Kyle, as it comes to court storming, when Indiana and Nebraska, my senior year, beat us at Wisconsin, at their places when I was at Wisconsin, you think I was like, you know what? You know there's going to be a court storm. You know. You see what's going on, even if you're playing in the game. You can feel the energy. You can hear the crowd. Guess where I was heading towards? The closest place of safety. Because I don't want to be around them. I want them to have that experience, but also for those who aren't as smart as me, which I'll just call out right now, just have security go protect them before the students get out there. Like, there's so many ways. I love Daniel here. They should just drop a giant net on the students. Let them wiggle out of that.
Well, I mean, it's pretty good. It's so true. It's so 2024 that the reaction is just do away with it. Like, let's not use our rational brains here to think about ways to maybe optimize it. Maybe every arena should have a plan with how they're going to efficiently and safely bring the students onto the court and the opposing team off. You're totally right. There's only a few games in any given weekend that are actually court storming worthy. So, whether it be a countdown clock or easy access off the courts, there's so many ways that are so easy to implement that could make this so much safer.
We're smarter than this. We are. Ken in Oak Creek, 800-990-3776. What do you got?
Well, thanks for taking my call. And both you two, Benny and Kyle, took away a little bit of my thunder. Two words I wanted to bring up was sportsmanship, and that's with the handshake after the game. My idea was for court storming that if they want to come on the court, after the sportsmanship of the handshaking of both teams, allow the visiting team to get off the court safely into the locker room, let the players have a minute or two of celebration within themselves, and then allow the fans on the court.
Now,
That's
Ken,
my thought. I'll listen to your take on it. Yes.
I appreciate the thoughts, Ken. You're trying to keep an animal in a cage that's already 9/10 of the way out of the cage for longer than you can do that. Like, they're ready to go. Like, if you do all that, there's too much time, 5 minutes and whatnot. Again, take timeouts, like if you know the game's over. If the game's not over, get on the PA and say, in the event of a win for our home team, you got to you got to lead the dummies to the right place. And if it means letting them know, stay away from the opposing teammate, and then have security rope off half the floor. They can take over the whole floor, but just have them rope off half the floor and get this is easy. Get me in security and I'll figure this out.
Yeah, I mean, I almost wonder, Ben, you said keep the benches close to the tunnel by which the players can run off to. Most of the sidelines I ever played on, it's like the sideline is here and then the tunnel to the locker room is in that corner of the end zone. It's pretty easy to get up off the field when you really want to. So there's so many ways to go about doing this if we're just protecting the players.
800-990-3776, Don in the 262. If you are pro court storming, may you experience the ultimate experience. May you be trampled with a smile on your face. Don in Mayville. See, again, I think that's kind of funny of you to say, but where we've gotten to is there are 100 ways that we can have an ultimate experience without the trampling of my face getting trampled on.
Well, and real quick here, how many court stormings are there in any given college basketball season, right?
Maybe quite a few.
Maybe
there's a lot.
Like 30?
There was 4 this past weekend.
Okay, and there's been 1 incident, right? Same
Well,
thing in
Caitlin
college.
Clark got hit as well.
True.
She should have got her behind off the court, too, just like Kyle
Should have had some more awareness.
I
You got
think-
awareness when there's 2 people on her on a double team.
Right.
There's just one person storming behind her.
So I mean,
got to have eyes behind the back of your head,
they're
right?
trying to throw out the entire excitement and celebration, which is a couple of incidences. It's not smart to me.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I really am. It really is just ridiculous. And again, I put a lot of the blame just on Duke. And I put the blame on, once again, I'm just upset that I feel bad for Kyle was it Filipowski?
Filipowski.
Yeah, I'm upset that he got his knee hurt. But again, that is
rolled
on him.
ankle.
This is what we need to understand is that old boy made a choice to stand on the court like that. He really did. Like he did. He had an option to get off the court. You knew exactly what was coming. And
if you see a stampede, Kyle, do you run to the stampede or away from it?
I'm running away from the stampede. I am. I'm absolutely running away from the stampede. I'm not just going to stand there unless I made a choice that I wanted to take it all in.
And I'm not putting it all on you or Kyle Filipowski, but you got to have some awareness as the player, and then you have to have the security help, not worrying about the fans, just worrying about the players. Like rope off a certain area of like half the court, and then as the fans start filing into a certain area that you allow them, you get everyone. Like, I feel like this is so easy that like I can't believe Jay Billis wants to detain college students and give them citations.
Tickets. Yeah. Well, and as a player though, I mean, you got to give them a minute. That's like almost what our caller was saying. Maybe not enough time for the handshake, but give them 60 seconds to get off the court, get themselves collected, and get off. Because when you lose, you're not necessarily thinking, "Oh, the fans are coming." You're pissed that you just lost and you didn't.
Okay, but when the victory. But when you see the fans, at a certain point, you have to click in, and I'm going to move. Right? You're being stubborn. If you don't move, you're just being stubborn.
I mean, that's fair.
When Michigan State, when their fans got on the field, what did you do?
I mean, I found my way to the locker room.
You started jogging your way through, right? And you kept your head on the swivel looking for people around you that could be trying to run onto the field. That's just what a sensible individual is going to do. You can't when everything around you is going wild, you can't lose your head about you because that's exactly what Kyle did. Kyle Filipowski did that. He basically got caught in the moment. Instead of protecting himself, he got ran into.
Yeah. There's solutions, and I'm glad that we are not going on the air and condemning college students for having fun. I'm going to condemn the people who are in charge to have a better plan because you have enough resources to make sure that there is a plan for something that doesn't happen every single game. Doesn't happen every single game. Prepare for it. 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. I actually would like to place a bet on the next Court Storm, but I don't think they have those odds. They have a lot of odds, over like thousands of odds, at Potawatomi Casino Hotel in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. There's an all-new Potawatomi Casino Hotel, and when you think about that second floor area, woo! We were up at Rock and Brews. We're going to be there again very soon. You have 12 bars and restaurants. You have a winning seat at 40 table games, 3,000 slot machines, the thrill of bingo, and full-service sports betting. Just because I'm 0-3 in Ben's same-game parlay or straight bets or whatever we decide to do, did you know that in the last Ben's same-game parlay, Brad lost, Kyle lost, but KBN Nation, they came through with a win. I think next Ben's same-game parlay, I'm going to do 3 KBN Nation callers and see if they can lead us to a same-game parlay victory, because y'all stink. 800-990-3776. Go to paysbig.com as well, paysbig.com. We take you to school. Coming up next, it's the KBN Academy.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
I'm about being young, wild, and free.
No, you're not.
You're
not young, wild, and free.
Yeah,
I am young.
You're not that.
I am
Every
wild.
time I have to do something, I check with a girlfriend.
Wait, why are you taking so, why are you going personal? Why are you going to talk about business? I can still be free with a lady.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, Why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands, when you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less?
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Replace. Stop. Opt out.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head? Comb it over? Wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence, because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, can give you your real hair back permanently. Check them out today, because they're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to anyone that texts EXPERT to 200-300. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad, because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're ahead of the curve. They use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. And the best part? Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Let Bosley show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Text EXPERT to 200-300. That's EXPERT to 200-300.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I can't wait till I get you on the floor, good looking. Hey, going out so high.
I see what you did there, Chris. Unless it wasn't on purpose. Chris?
Oh, it was on purpose, yeah.
Very good. Very proud of you. I can't wait to see you on the floor. Court storming, not ruining college kids' fun. Jay Billis wants to detain college kids for having fun. I don't want to do it. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Ben Brust alongside Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman. We are pro-fun, anti-lame. Keep court storming. Just find a way. There's a way. And if you missed how we discussed how there is a way, go to Wisconsin On Demand, where we discussed it the first 30 minutes of this show. But we got to take you to school in the KBN Academy.
In radio, our goal's pretty simple.
Just so you know, we really suck.
Have an A show or an F show.
Hey, I'll decide who sucks around here.
The same goes for topics in this next segment. This is the KBN Academy.
Those that can't do, teach.
It is the KBN Academy, where I do love a couple of these that we're getting to today, where Professor Brust, Wallace, and Nortman have to give our grades, A or F. There's no B's, C's, or D's, or anywhere else in between. Chris, take it away.
All right, guys, kicking off the KBN Academy. A Kentucky couple recently got married inside a gas station disco bathroom on Valentine's Day. They put on their wedding day best, read their vows, and danced under the disco ball. They were also joined by their family and friends, with some outside of the bathroom and even outside of the store. A or F, you'd have your wedding in a bathroom if your significant other wanted you to.
That's an F. That's an F, because hold on,
Lexi.
If my significant other felt about our marriage that it was appropriate to have our vows be in a gas station bathroom, then you're not taking those vows seriously enough. There's no way you can enter into marriage.
If anything, this speaks to the vows through thick and through thin.
No, that you're making a joke of the ceremony, and you can't say how much you love one another in a
This man doesn't know real love.
bathroom. You are cheating how beautiful a wedding ceremony should be.
What an elitist. What
That
a
is
highbrow.
absurd.
You are an absolute elitist, Bradley Nortman. Here's the thing. Some people get married at a courthouse. Some people get married. It doesn't matter how big. And listen, I was against this as well. This is disgusting. I don't even like going.
This is our germaphobe here.
Yeah, I don't even like going. I don't even stop. I would rather do it bended, poop outside, than go into a gas station bathroom to put my bum
Why'd
on
you have to put me on blast?
Because
like
that's
that?
what you did. You pooped outside. I would do that as well. I would do it way before I go into a gas station bathroom. And I think this is disgusting to do. But now I'm not going to sit here and say it's disrespectful to the sanctity of marriage.
Agree.
No, it doesn't matter where you get married at. It's about the love. People go to the courthouse. People go to the beach. People do all types of things.
We go to the bathroom.
But you have to go out of your way to set up your marriage here.
No,
your vows here.
this is what they want to do.
weird.
Everybody ain't got the NFL money, Brad. Everybody can't do that. Everybody can't. Well, you know
Powerful.
what, Brad? I was gonna invite Brad to my wedding one day, but hell no, I got time for him and Lexi to go back and say, well,
Oh, look at Kyle's
if
wedding
it's in a
was.
bathroom, I ain't coming.
That was trashy. You ain't doing that to me. So listen. This is an F that they did this, but also Bradley Nortman's take is an F as well. Stop being elitist, Brad.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself, but I'm going to change this question. A or F, if you were proposed to in a bathroom, you would have said yes.
Well, I mean, the guy does the proposing, so you're saying...
Would Lexi had said no?
Depends on the couple. Let's be inclusive.
I would rather be proposed to in a bathroom than get married in a bathroom. I'm closer to saying yes to that.
Closer. He wouldn't say yes.
I'm still not sure. I would say, baby, let's take 2 steps outside. Let's at least do it in the snack section of the grocery store.
You know, there was at the school I went to. I don't want to go too deep into it because who knows who's listening. And somebody got proposed to in the kitchen. And I just remember my girlfriend at the time. We looking at this like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. Like, kitchen?
So
marriage didn't last.
So I'm.
Oh, you laughed? I'm dead serious. It didn't last. Because she was probably always thinking, this mug done proposed to me in the kitchen. A kitchen in the Whitewater Apartments? Hell no, that ain't it.
So when I first met my girlfriend, we, were feeling pretty good that day. Had a couple things in the system, and we ordered some pizza and some delicious, appetizers from that place to bring back. And we started doing what college kids, or I guess I was in college. We started doing what people do, making out.
Oh, wow, okay.
Behind.
Hey.
And I said, hey, baby.
Wait.
What if would you say yes if I proposed where we, met and made out behind the pizza place?
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to ask her out at that point.
Like, just behind the building?
It's nostalgic.
That's not that bad, though.
No, but it's nostalgic.
I mean,
if it was next to like a dumpster.
I mean, there was dumpsters back there, yeah.
I wish I didn't hear this story because your girlfriend works here. So now, like, when I see you two, I like to imagine things like that don't happen. Like, I don't know how I got here. That's what Ben said after.
I respect the passion of the moment. I respect that.
All right.
And she said she would have said yes if I did it there. So
I'm sure she said yes now.
I'm not going to do that there, but it was a good test of I think if I proposed in a bathroom based off this question, we'd be okay. Chris?
All right, moving on. The Tooth Fairy payouts for lost teeth have apparently declined for the first time since 2019. According to a new poll from Delta Dental, the average value of a single lost tooth during the past year declined by 6% from $6.23 to $5.84. ARF, $5.84 for a lost tooth is a lot.
I'm gonna go with F. That's not a lot. I think the first tooth
tooth is usually a lot of money. Isn't it like $1 per tooth basically after that?
I mean, inflation's clearly getting to the Tooth Fairy. I mean, I can't believe that inflation is. What's gonna happen? Is Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, are they gonna stop? Are they gonna be providing less gifts now too?
It's hitting everywhere, clearly. But I mean, I looked at this. I remember this is for a single tooth, not even just your first tooth. You start to do the math of a kid losing 20 teeth? I don't know. How many teeth do kids have? 20, 24? And you're talking about a lot of money. All of a sudden, I remember getting $1 and being darn
elitist
happy
Brad,
about it.
frugal Brad.
No,
is too much.
I'm with
You're
Brad.
giving like a 6-year-old $5, and that times 20.
I don't remember. I don't feel like my
That's $100.
Kids will lose 20 baby to you.
Okay, that's $100.
Yeah,
for a 6-year-old.
Put it in the piggy bank, Brad.
This
They
is
better
a-
invest
and then
it.
invest
They better
it.
invest it.
No.
No, they ain't investing it. Though.
This is a good reduction. I'm glad they're doing this because when I have babies, I don't want them knowing the average of what other kids is getting because my kid is getting $1. Luckily, getting $1 because that's all I got was $1. Matter of fact, the Tooth Fairy.
So you're
stopped
one of those
coming.
parents who's not trying to, make their kids have a better experience. Maybe give them $2.
They have a house. They have food. They get to play sports. They have two parents that love each other. They got a lot of good things that a lot of kids will want as well. So the Tooth Fairy coming and only giving them $1, they should be happy they got that. And on top of that, heck, I'm sure Mama and Daddy's paying for a lot of other things as well.
You guys,
$5.
you guys are
So
horrible.
So
with
your
children.
daughter's gonna be cashed out. I see.
Yeah, man. I mean, especially when your daughter starts losing teeth, you're talking about 5 or 6 years. She'd be getting $10. $10 a tooth. You don't give her 20
And then she's gonna
bucks?
spend it on candy just for her teeth to rot again.
Okay, you guys are taking this too far. Chris, next.
All right, moving on here. Let's finish up KBN Academy with Doc Rivers triumphant in his return to Philly as the Bucks beat the 76ers on Sunday, running their record to 2-0 post All-Star break. ARF, you are no longer worried about the Milwaukee Bucks.
I still have worry. I am 110% happy to see how they came out of the All-Star break. They beat the Timberwolves, who were a little bit more full strength. Philly wasn't, but they still took care of business. They weren't taking care of business against teams like Philly when teams were injured. They lost to the freaking two-way in last round pick and scrubs of the Memphis Grizzlies before the NBA All-Star break. So, am I still worried? I need a bigger sample size. 2 games is enough for me to flip that switch, but I'm happy with what I saw.
Here you go, huh? You still bringing up Memphis? That was like 2 weeks ago, bro. Why we still bringing up Memphis? You bringing up all stuff.
2 weeks is not that long ago.
Like, we still bringing up Memphis? We still talking about that?
I just
right?
said, do you listen?
Like,
I said they lost to Memphis
who
in those
cares?
scrubs,
This
but then
one
they took
game.
care of business against a team that was injured after the All-Star break. That is encouraging, and like you said, it's 2 games. I'm not going to change my opinion based off of 1 or 2 games. I had a bigger sample size than 2 games post All-Star break.
Only time I want to hear you talking about Memphis.
Propaganda,
No,
Kyle.
only time I want to hear
Kyle.
you talk about Memphis, you talking about B.B. King or Beale Street. If it ain't one of them two, I don't want to hear you talk about Memphis no more this year.
2-way players.
It's nothing. Yeah, who cares? Like, this is only 2 games. I'm not gonna get too high or too low, but I wasn't concerned before, and I'm definitely not concerned now. Like I told y'all, calm down. Everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah, no, that's enough for me. I still have my concerns. It's a good step. I'm encouraged, but they got to string together a lot more positive wins than just 2 of them.
You know
one
what?
against when they're losing their superstar.
You know what I don't like about this? Had they lost these 2 games, oh my gosh, oh they lost more games. Oh,
Sorry that I'm happy that they're taking care of business, and I'm not not going to make a big deal.
Almost a 2 seed in these.
Well,
So
Kyle,
now
losses are way more painful than wins are fun.
Sound like you're on a roller coaster, which you are emotionally as a fan. Brad, did you know that it's okay for us to not overreact to them doing what we've expected them to do, and not saying like, oh, it's all solved now, but this is what we've expected. Until I see it over a longer sample size, I'm not just gonna be like, yeah, these 2 games flipped the switch in my mind.
Well, and when you're an NBA title contender, losses hurt 10 times more than any given win feels good. So yeah, I think that when you string together losses, it creates a little bit more of a red flag than it does stringing together some wins.
Oh, 2 green flags over the past couple days, so I'm feeling good.
There it is, 2 green flags for Kyle. Basically, wins are green flags, losses are red. That's all it is.
I've never heard of a green flag. You mean a green light? Green flag.
Green flags in racing, right?
Yeah, no. But you say like
time to go.
Red flag, like
I know red flag. Like that's like an alert. But a green flag,
it's like a go. Yeah,
Oh.
Brad, you're a green flag. You're a catch.
I'm a green flag. Okay,
you are.
I'll take that. Oh, thank you,
Kyle. It's for a different discussion. Me.
Oh wow.
You're definitely you're a walking red flag. you are the epitome of the dictionary.
Oh,
You
wow.
open up the book and there it is. Ben Brust, red flag, walking red flag. I should snitch on you what you did in this. You act like you ain't got no home training. That's the issue I got.
What do you mean no home training?
No home training. You sitting here eating your lunch in front of us, which is fine. No issue with that. But then instead of going out and throwing it in the proper garbage, you put it in the garbage
here
inside
comes
of here.
littering Kyle.
No, listen, what is
Hey,
that
I
garbage?
want you to explain this on the other side. 800-990-3776. I threw away some lunch food apparently into the wrong trash basket. Kyle's going to be the littering police as he's been since we've started the show day one. Next, everyone loves a good policeman.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
You said they are a reflection of their head coach. Yes, he's soft, as he proved with you by signing that damn jersey you had on. You think Campbell would have signed that jersey?
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts. The Wisconsin Badgers football team has filled out their coaching staff for the upcoming season, according to ESPN's Pete Thamel. Reported Thursday, the Badgers are hiring Air Force defensive ends coach E.J. Whitlow as their next defensive line coach, replacing Greg Scruggs after just one season. Whitlow was previously at Miami of Ohio and Grand Valley State, where he spent time with current Badgers outside linebackers coach Matt Mitchell. Last season, in charge of Air Force's defensive ends, the Falcons had the #1 total defense in the country, as well as the #2 passing defense.
Get 0% interest for up to 3 years, or get no money down, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Jesse Nelson here for Hansen & Sons, Madison's #1 family-owned chimney and fireplace specialist. To celebrate 71 years of service, Hansen & Sons is offering 7.1% savings on any of their new high-efficiency installed fireplaces or their expert winter masonry chimney repairs. Replace that old, dirty, wood-burning fireplace with a new high-efficiency, remote-controlled gas or electric fireplace. Sale ends February 29th. Go to HansenandSons.com for more information. That's HansenandSons.com.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
Jump into leap year savings at Metro Ford of Madison. Leap into a 2023 Ford F-150 at just 1.9% APR financing for 70 months. $14.71 per thousand borrowed, excludes Lightning and Raptor models. It's also the month of love at Metro Ford. You'll love a 2023 Escape for 0.9% APR financing for 66 months and $2,000 in Ford Flex cash. $15.54 per thousand borrowed, offers good to qualified credit and ends February 29th. Hurry in to Metro Ford of Madison today.
Stoughton Health, in collaboration with patient and family advisors, seeks to advance the healthcare experience at Stoughton Health by providing a forum for past patients and families to provide feedback on a variety of healthcare and other related topics. Advisors offer constructive feedback on their personal journey at Stoughton Health, helping to elevate the patient experience and increase satisfaction. Interested? Please call Amy at 608-873-2308.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
All right. So this is what it's going to be, huh? I work with a bunch of wee-wees.
Here's the thing.
Kyle and Brad. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. They hold in their thoughts about me, Ben Brust, and then I have to talk to them during the break and really see how they feel before they actually tell me how they feel. So you know what? My mic's off. Lay it on me.
Oh, so here's the thing. This is what I'm going to start at here. Is that growing up as a kid, you know what my grandma told me?
I don't know.
My grandma told me, don't you go anywhere acting like you don't have no home training. That's what she used to tell me. So anytime I went somewhere in public, you know what? Kyle Wallace wanted to follow the rules because he wasn't going to bring no shame to the Wallace name, okay? So that's why I do what I do. We talked about the banana peel. Remember the banana peel where you threw it out the window like that? Listen, it's one thing to do it by yourself when nobody is looking. It's another thing to do it around people. You know what I'm saying? Like me. You can't just throw the banana peel out the window in front of people because some people could judge you and then judge the Brust name. But clearly back during the pandemic, we should have known that Ben didn't care about the Brust name when he was peeing in bottles and playing video games all dang day.
Not brushing his teeth for 3 days.
Not brushing his teeth for 3 days.
Okay, so what's your problem with me now?
So my problem with you now is today, you sitting here, you're eating lunch, which is fine. Hey, you know what? We work hard. We don't have time for lunch.
Didn't have a lot of time.
No, exactly. There's nothing wrong with lunch. But the fact that instead of when you're done with your lunch, just like any person who has home training, a sensible individual, Brad, where do you throw your food out at?
You throw that in the trash can that's designated for trash.
You throw it in the trash can that's designated for trash. But what does Ben Brust do? Ben Brust literally sits next to a garbage can. I should grab the garbage can.
You said it's a garbage can.
But it's not a garbage can.
It's not a garbage can. It is labeled. On there it says paper. That is made for paper. You're supposed to
recycling.
Yes, you're supposed to put paper inside of there. But what does Ben Brust do? Oh, Ben Brust takes his chicken and rice with whatever sauce he had on it, and he throws it in the garbage. Instead of taking it to the real garbage, he threw it in a paper place that had other places for recycling. So 2 things here. Now you can't recycle anything in there, so any papers in there now can't be recycled. And on top of that, guess what?
You're telling me you can't recycle paper now because I put something
in it?
Yes,
because you can't. It's mixed. It's mixed.
Are you serious?
Yes, it's damaged. It's mixed. And on top of that, now it smells like Chinese food in here.
Well, that's the problem, right? Because that is designated for our show sheets.
Oh,
right?
so you got a problem now.
So I got a problem. Not only was it environmentally unfriendly, it's socially unfriendly to put your leftover food in a recycling bin that has no lid on it. There's no lid on it right here, and they empty recycling bins less frequently than trash bins because it's being filled up less. And quite honestly, you got to get the trash out of there because it stinks. Now we're going to deal with food and decaying,
bugs,
gross
all
food
type of stuff because of bin.
No lid recycling bin in this small studio.
Red flag.
800-990-3776. Cody chimes in. Karen, Brust, and Nortman, KBN. Couldn't agree more with Kyle being a Karen. But also, I just want to reiterate here. It's so funny that you guys have all these strong opinions, but then as soon as we get on air, you guys talk about it? How about talking to me like a real person? Talking to me like a man. Hey, Brad, maybe Brad saying hey, Ben, do you mind, I would have took it out. Kyle's on stream holding up our
what does that say, Kyle?
Paper recycling.
That says
he doesn't have
recycling
a microphone.
Logo with paper, no lid. And Kyle is doing his best to show that is exactly what's in there. Ben, I want you to describe exactly what's in there. It's trash?
There we go.
No, too late.
It's not too late. I have it in my hands right.
Look, what's in there?
What, Kyle? Get by a microphone. We can't hear you.
There is food that has been dropped all over the paper.
All right.
It stinks.
Are you actually mad?
Yeah, I'm mad about this. It stinks.
It's not a big studio for us to live in. We're supposed to be at our A game. I don't want to smell old food. I don't want to smell old, Chinese food.
So how about you guys say something before I do it?
Say something
because it's kind of fun to silently judge for a minute. I'm like Ben is not doing that. Here's no way he's putting.
How many times have you done that?
A couple.
Yeah,
there's been a couple.
Ben does it a lot. Ben does it a lot. But here's the thing. I walked in and I saw him throw it away, and I looked at him and said, what did you just do? He said, I was like, why are you smiling? You know you did something wrong because you're smiling at me.
And here's the thing. When Ben opened up to start eating it, he even said, hey, guys, sorry. I know this is going to smell. I've got chicken and rice here.
No, I said it's probably not going to smell. It's just chicken and rice.
No, but you said, I'd be glad to take it out of here if it smells too much. We're both, oh, no problem. So you knew there was a scent to it, and then you just crumpled it up and threw it right in the open recycling
right in the garbage and had no remorse. I think he smiled.
You guys sound like anti-court stormers right now.
No, I sound like a person that has home training that's sensible, who does the responsible thing. You should not have done that, and you knew you shouldn't have done that. And even now, there's no fixing it. You tried to take it out of the garbage can because I basically forced you to. There's still rice and meat inside of the garbage can.
So I should just put it back?
Do you feel any remorse, Ben? Do you feel any? That's why we brought this to your attention.
No, I just like to hear you guys complain like little babies.
This is crazy. You are truly a walking red flag. You are as bad as what the Milwaukee Bucks were when they first started on the dock.
Wait, so you're admitting that they were a red flag at one point?
Actually,
they weren't good, but they're better now. But no,
I'm always on my toes, even if I'm doing the wrong thing.
You are 100% a red flag, and it's very disappointing. Very disappointing.
All right, well, while I clean out the garbage cans, tell us about some green flags that we work with at our great partnerships here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Oh, I definitely have a lot of green flags that we work with in KBN Nation. Let me tell you about this green flag that you should work with as well, so I need you to listen up. I got to tell you about my favorite way to watch Bucks games and all other sporting events by using the Underdog Fantasy app. They have a Pick'em Fantasy game where you win real money. It's easy to find in your app store and even easier to use. So check it out. Here's how it works. Pick 2 to 5 players from at least 2 different teams. Then select higher or lower on those players' stats. If your pick hits, you can win up to 100 times your money. Yeah, it's that easy, especially with the hoops season hitting high gear right now. You got college hoops. You got pros. You know that I'm going to be watching every game with the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. Right now, download their easy-to-use mobile app or visit UnderdogFantasy.com and sign up using promo code KBN. That's promo code KBN, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. Plus, they'll give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick of entry. That's promo code KBN, and join me and get the Underdog Fantasy app so that you can enhance your game-watching experience. You must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms do apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Get in the game with Underdog Fantasy.
Dave from Aaron chimes in. Mouse in neighbor's yard, trash in the recycling. Benny's going down a dark road.
Well said.
Yeah, you guys all have a bone to pick. Now, I will say, I did just try and pick out the food out of the recycling bin, and then I realized, like, if I take this bag out, there's nothing in the bin for papers. So
I'd rather have
second bag.
So should I just put the bag back in? What should I do?
It is okay to have loose papers because they can just. I mean, that is a heavy thing. I hurt my back lifting it up, but they can find
heavy.
It was a little. Yeah, it was a little heavier than I thought. They'll dig down and grab paper because they don't have to deal with digging down to grab paper with food inside of it. So,
all right, so you agree with my decision to get rid of the food?
Please get rid of food.
It's
and
a
throw it
stand-up
out.
thing to do.
Now, Brad,
kill some trees for
in
free.
2 minutes, you believe it's an organizational failure for Matt LaFleur not to be at the Combine. I disagree, but I want to hear you out next.
You can drive cutting-edge design. 2024 Audis are on the lot and ready for delivery. You can save $7,500 on select Audi EVs with the AFS EV lease bonus. See dealer for details and exclusions. Eligibility is subject to credit approval through Audi Financial Services. Cannot be combined with National Customer Credit. Offer expires February 24th, 2024. Stop in and test drive today. Check out our website to see our current electric vehicle inventory and our monthly specials. The search for your Audi begins and ends at Zimbrick Audi of Madison, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road. Drive yours today.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Yeah, it is. And I'm Alex Stroh, your Sports Center update brought to you by Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania. Playoffs are here, and ESPN Madison has you covered all weekend long with 4 games between Thursday and Saturday, all streaming for free on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to ESPN Madison on YouTube for Zimbrick Honda's playoff coverage of Prep Mania. The Green Bay Packers in a good spot. They introduced their new defensive coordinator, Jeff Hafley, last week with his first introductory press conference. Plenty of reaction to that over at ESPN Wisconsin. ESPN.com. And while you're there, check out ESPN NFL Nation reporter Rob Demovsky diving into each of the Packers' unrestricted free agents and analyzing whether or not they should be back with the Packers in 2024. And again, that over at ESPNWisconsin.com. NBA, the Bucks have won both of their games after the All-Star break. 2-0 in the second half of the season. They're back in action at Fiserv Forum tomorrow night as they play host to the Charlotte Hornets. It's a 7 o'clock tip and a 6:30 pregame right here on Madison's home for Bucks basketball, 100.5 ESPN. More Kyle, Brust, and Nortman coming up right now on ESPN Madison.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studios in Madison, this is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Two environmentalists of the show, Brad Nortman, Kyle Wallace. Keep me on a tight leash here.
I'm glad we can shame you into doing something responsible.
I feel better now.
Do you?
I do.
800-990-3776. That's your way to get in on the ESPN Wisconsin Talking Text line. Streaming our beautiful faces on YouTube at ESPN Madison and at ESPN Milwaukee. Now, this isn't the first time the Green Bay Packers have done this, and I'm not shocked by it, but Matt LaFleur not to be an Indy for the NFL Combine.
Oh, wow!
Brad Nortman is somebody who participated in the Combine?
That's correct.
Your take on Matt LaFleur not being there with Goot?
Look, I think the fact that Matt LaFleur doesn't go to the Combine and him and Goody aren't at least experiencing it together is an organizational failure for the Green Bay Packers, and it really is a travesty when it comes to roster building. Now, I know that they're siloed out, right? That Goody will make the personnel and the drafting decision, and that Matt LaFleur is in charge of coaching. But they're in the war room together on draft night, are they not? And I think that the biggest thing that I think about when it comes to the NFL Combine is that some of the deepest evaluations you do, it's not the 40, it's not the long jump, or the broad jump, I guess. It's not the shuttle. It's in the player interviews, right? That is something that this is their first opportunity to really sit down face-to-face with these possible drafted candidates that might be on their team. So you're going to really discover what their character is like when they answer certain kind of tough questions, maybe some softball questions. What gets them going? Who are their influences? So figuring out how to understand your players, understand the character of your players, what gets them going, how to get the best out of them. That's exactly Matt LaFleur's job. So to help him, one of these guys they're going to draft. I mean, they got 5 picks in the first 100 rounds. They're going to interact with some of the
100
guys.
100 picks. If there was 100 rounds, I'd probably still watch, but thatuld be a lot.
That's true.
Heck, I would have got drafted in 100 rounds. No, probably not.
They're going to have 5.
I was going to say no. No, you wouldn't.
What could have happened if you didn't tear that ACL, Kyle?
Still wouldn't have.
Hang on, Brad. How many interviews did you do?
Well, so each team has 30 formal interviews where you go to a suite that the team has and everyone's there. And they sit down and they pull film on you, and it's like a 45-minute to an hour interview. I had one of those. And with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They did not go with me. They went with Brian Anger, the different punter.
Maybe that's why they stunk as an organization. They spent time looking at film of a punter.
Well, you need a punter. What are you going to do? But then there is like sort of the casual milling around of players and coaches. And there was a time with specialists where all the special teams coaches were in a ballroom and basically like ate at any given table. And you just went around and rotated all the tables. And you got basically just drilled with questions by 8 special teams coaches at a time. And then, time's up, go to the next table. So my interaction with coaches was extreme, and they got to know me, figure out if they wanted me to be their punter, if they're a guy that they can build a roster around. And particularly with Green Bay, which is a draft and develop team, the more you can know about these draft picks, the better. So even though Matt LaFleur doesn't have a say in who they're picking, he should know these guys. He should be involved in this process, even if just being a spectator.
You said how much time did you get?
For what?
To talk to the coach? You said
like an hour?
Yeah, in the formal interviews. So each team gets 30 formal interviews.
At the Combine.
At the Combine. And so the Jags, for instance, used 2 on punters, me and this other guy. And so you go in there, and it's wild, man. They pull up film on you. You got the GM, you got the president.
I want to know what
coach.
they asked you. Like, what was what were you taken back by?
Well, not much. I stayed pretty darn level-headed and steady-handed the whole way.
That's why he got
through.
drafted. They said,
That's
cool.
Yeah, there wasn't a ton. I mean, for instance, if you got any kind of legal trouble, that would come up. If you had bad grades, that would come up. They did pull up film on me, and they pulled up a shank, and they're like, "What happened on this?" And I'm like, there's just the drop was an inch outside my foot." Then they pulled up good film, and like, "How is this different?" So it's basically one massive job interview.
Did they ask for your transcripts?
They have access to those.
What do you mean have access to your transcripts? How do they have access to your transcripts? You got to release that.
They have access to your GPA somehow. And I think it's
why are you worried about the transcripts?
I'm just curious about how they have all
even
this
if
access.
even if there were 100 rounds, they weren't going to be asking for Kyle Wallace's transcripts.
But even think about what you can learn from a guy. Even if it's as little as this guy's very verbal, this guy's very nonverbal. Like this guy has an undercurrent of aggression. Like so he's going to be great in the trenches. Or this guy's standoffish and he's not receptive to leadership. All these things that matter when you're trying to evaluate character and get the best out of your guys. That's exactly what the head coach's role is. So the fact that Matt LaFleur isn't a part of this, even just to witness this, to help build out his team when he does finally have those players, particularly with draft and develop Green Bay, it's a travesty. It upsets me because it could be better.
It upsets Brad Nortman that Matt LaFleur isn't at the combine with Goot working in tandem to figure out who will be the best guys to be on the roster, to be drafted all in one. Now, I'd push back a little bit just from the standpoint of, well, it's worked. At least the last two drafts, people want to point to the success of Goody in the draft. But it's hard for me to sit here and also be like, well, it worked, but could it have been even better, right? Because I do believe if GM is making picks and coach is coaching players, I think there should be more of a relationship there, but that's not how they do it. Does it bother Kyle Wallace? Probably not, because he loves everything that they do.
Here's the thing. I've talked about this before. It used to bother me, right? I used to be upset about it, but here's the thing. I'm not going to sit here and throw a fit about something that is the system. This is who we are. There's no reason I'm going to be upset about this being who we are. And here's the thing, fellas, is that other teams do it as well. And then I may not like the system, but if you kind of look at it from a different perspective, if you're interviewing a lot of candidates for a job, right, you got a job posting for one position and you get 50 applications for that job. Do you want to review all 50 applications, or would you rather have the pre-screening service screen the applications for you? And when you have the candidates that are legitimate, let me see those legitimate candidates. I don't want to waste my time interviewing 30 people. Matt LaFleur has to get ready for the off-season training camp. We have a changeover on defense. There are more important things that he needs to be focusing on than going to the combine, because guess what? They're going to invite them to Lambeau. The guys they really like, they're going to bring them to Lambeau.
I was just going to ask, can they have follow-up interviews with a certain amount of people?
You can. I don't know how many they get, but that is something where you can bring them to Lambeau. You can go to them and work them out. But there's nothing quite like it. But even if you go through the 30 guys, let's say you only draft 3 of them, you've had conversations with 27 players that you are going to be up against on any given weekend. You know more about them. You know more about their character and how they go about doing things. So it just, more knowledge is better. And this is already a pre-screened group of people. This is like the very limited amount that can go to the draft.
This isn't a pre-screen.
It is. These are all people that are going to get drafted and playing.
The NFL is not pre-screening these kids. What the NFL is
capable.
Doing, they're getting, and you know more than I do, but I know, did the NFL give you an interview before you got the invite? Or did they just invite? Exactly, because they're inviting the 260-some best players, or whatever it is, best football players out there that accept their invitation. And so that's all that is, and it is on you as an organization to do your due diligence, and this is how the Green Bay Packers go about doing their due diligence, by sending their GM and their scouting team that has been scouting them throughout the season, not just now.
800-990-3776. JB in the 608 says sources close to him heard that the Jaguars found out that Brad packs his bags before vacation 6 to 8 weeks before going on vacation, so they had to pass.
It's reasonable. It's a very reasonable stance by the Jaguars. That was probably a red flags. That was probably a red flag. Like, this punter does.
What is your biggest? What was your biggest red flag in interviews?
A
little self-eval here.
I was pretty inconsistent in college. And they didn't love that.
Where are you now?
Yeah. I mean, I was good, really good for a college punter, but like to play on a NFL level, I had a long way to go.
What about personally?
I don't know. Nothing really came up as far as like.
I try too hard. I love too much.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they didn't.
I plan on making my girlfriend move to whatever city I'm drafted in. We have to share a car.
Yeah. You will appreciate my frugality and wise this financial decision making.
Every money that you pay me will be used for good.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I really had too much of a negative thing. But I mean, it would only come up if negative personality stuff would only come up if you got like in legal trouble, you had bad GPA, didn't show up at classes, or they would interview your coaching.
Me. That's why you didn't get drafted, Ben.
Well, you know who they interview too is a lot of like the like education like tutors and advisors and your coaching staff. So if you like if there was a narrative around that like you're doing everything right, they're not really that concerned about the personality.
I guess for me, Brad, do you really think it's that big of a deal? Like organization, Sean McVay's not going. You got Mike McCarthy not going. Both Super Bowl winning coaches. You got Matt LaFleur.
One who's on the hottest of hot seats, too.
Yeah, and Matt LaFleur, who has not won a Super Bowl, has won a lot of games and basically was part of a turnaround for the Green Bay Packers from – not a turnaround, a transition year for the Green Bay Packers. Does it really matter that much?
I think it does because this is a unique environment in the NFL Combine. We talk about that people can, fly to Lambeau or they can fly to wherever a city is. That's a comfortable environment. The red carpet is kind of being rolled out for you in those moments. The NFL Combine, it's stressful. I mean, you have a lot on your plate. So you are dealing with these guys in a very unfiltered manner when they're dealing with stress. How can they respond? They know they have to perform on the field. They know they have to perform in the interview. All the other interviews that happen outside of the Combine, they're very casual. They're very lighthearted. They're very safe. So I think when you get to see somebody in that environment, it shows their true colors.
800-990-3776. Are you like Brad? Do you think it's a bad look? Do you think it's a travesty that Matt LaFleur is not with Goot at the NFL draft? At this point, I think I like the way that Kyle broke it down. I know you have experience.
Cleaning that garbage really helped him brighten up his mind.
So you're saying if it was your team and you're the owner, I know how it is right now for Green Bay, but you would prefer your head coach not to be there. That's what you're saying.
I think that if I trust my GM and he's going to have to go through what Kyle had said, the screening process, and the way again, if it was my organization, I don't know how I'd run it, but with the way that we're describing it right now with the Green Bay Packers, with the silos that they have, it is what it is. Goody's going to be making the decisions. Matt LaFleur is going to have very little input. And even that little input may not influence Goody at all. So from that standpoint, I'd rather have Goody be there and Matt LaFleur working with Hafley, working with the staff, implementing and planning how they plan on doing what they need to do on the field and trusting Brian Gutekunst to deliver the pieces to put in place.
Do your job. That's what it is. It's about doing your job.
Well, I asked Brad a tough question. It was almost like he was back in the interview. What's negative about you? Well, you know what's negative about Gina Della from Pella? Absolutely nothing. Everything's positive.
Absolutely nothing. If Gina Della from Pella was at the NFL Combine or the Windows and Doors Combine, first round, first overall pick, whatever she wants, we'll pay her. That's because Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is the best. I mean, they have an amazing deal going on right now. You can pick one of two things. It's kind of a choose-your-own-adventure type of situation, right? For Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, you can either get 0% interest for up to 3 years. That's right, 3 years, 0% interest, or make no down payment, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months. That's amazing. You get to fit the deal to whatever your personal needs are and however you want to do it. I mean, imagine having the beautiful Pella Windows and Doors installed. Totally transform your place, protects you from the outside weather that is like hot, cold right now, hot, cold, and not having to make a single payment for a year and a half or 0% interest for up to 3 years. Take advantage of this deal that Pella is offering, but doesn't last forever. It's February 26th. It ends on February 29th. Have Pella's expert team install these windows and doors year-round. They can customize any window, any door to match your unique home. Visit PellaWI.com today.
What did you see this weekend you want to cheers to? What did you see this weekend that you want to pour one out to? That's what we do. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman plus you. Cheers to, pour one out. Coming up next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Tyler, thank you for all that baby talk there and parenting talk. I'll take some of those tips.
I was getting ready for it right
Yeah, taking notes over there,
taking some of those taking some of those tips, those tips and storing them away. I do like nips as well. But Tyler,
on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Woo! I am thirsty today. Definitely going to need a cold one. There's the one. It's fish fry season, Wisconsin, and one of my favorite traditions is heading to a local fish fry and enjoying with some Potosi Brewing Cave Ale. Wonder from Potosi is here with me to tell us about Cave Ale and all about Potosi's Fish Fry Contest. Head to PotosiBrewing.com and click on the Events tab to find where you can enjoy Potosi Cave Ale and vote for your favorite fish fry.
That's what goes best with fish fries is Potosi Cave Amber Ale. 5.5% malted beer, so very smooth and well balanced. When you go into your favorite place, look for Potosi Cave Ale on tap. Inside there should be some signs and coasters, and on those it will be a QR code. Vote for them for best fish fry.
Head to Licari's Bar and Grill, Gates and Brophy, Salvatore's, and Athens Grill. Vote for your favorite Wisconsin fish fry now, and of course, keep that fridge stocked.
ESPN Madison is on Wisconsin Sports. Catch up on anything you missed on the Varsity Podcast on Wisconsin On Demand. Brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Honda, shop local, part of the Madison community since 1973.
At Starion Bank, they pride themselves on being a super community bank. Small enough to show they care about you and the communities they serve, while being large enough to make big things happen. With 3 Madison area branches in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona, Starion Bank is here investing in your community while offering valuable personal and business banking services. Start your experience with Starion Bank today by going to starionbank.com. Member FDIC.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We tend not to think about right now, but right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. When you give to the V Foundation, 100% of your donation goes directly to game-changing cancer research. Victory over cancer is there for the taking by you. Donate at V.org, because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Cozy up your home with fresh cabinets from SprayNet of Southern Wisconsin. SprayNet knows that the kitchen is the heart of your home. Let them help you fall in love with it again. Quicker and more affordable than replacing your cabinets, SprayNet can have your kitchen cabinets looking like the day you first saw them. Their exclusive painting technology and technique will have your kitchen transformed in less than a week. Schedule an appointment today with Dale, the owner of SprayNet of Southern Wisconsin. Go to spraynet.com.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
A weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend. Tune into the Here District with Marcus Johnson. A Bucks Plus audio production. Marcus and his son Chris, a 1995 UCLA Hoops champ himself, talk about everything happening in the Bucks world and are joined by some of the biggest names in basketball. Plus, they'll answer your questions too. Stay on the beat of the Bucks and find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Every Monday, we see what we like, we see what we don't like and feel bad about, and we cheers to and pour one out.
The weekend is over, so let's pop some bottles. It's time for Cheers to and Pour One Out on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
I'll kick it off. I mean, some people say it's in bad taste, but I don't. If you can hold off 3 men attacking you, you deserve a cheers to. Brad Nortman's former teammate, Cam Newton from Auburn to the Panthers to Super Bowl 50, got jumped by 3 people at an event. I don't even know, to be honest, I don't even know what event it was. I just watched the video, and he was wearing some big hat.
Look like the Mad Hatter.
And it didn't fall off his head, and he had 3 guys after him. You don't mess with football players, especially what's Cam? Cam's 6'6", 250, 260?
Yeah, that's my quarterback right there.
He's a big boy. He's a very, very big boy. Cheers to Cam Newton for showing you don't mess with people who are 6'5", 6'6", 270 with muscle.
Yeah, and Cam, I mean, he's tough. He's tougher than more people realize, and he is built like a beast. So I have no surprises to me that he
Look
held
up
his
that
own
video, and you'll be cheersing to him for taking on 3 people.
Yeah, I'll be friends with Cam.
Oh, yeah.
For real, I talk crazy. Say something else. Say something. Hey, Cam, they talking crazy. They talking crazy, Cam.
So you're going to put a Cam Newton as somebody to protect you, put him in a bad spot.
If he's my friend, yeah. I mean, if he's fighting kids at a park or whatever it was, at a camp, he's fighting people at a camp, he can definitely fight some people in the mean streets around here for me. That's my friend.
Mr. Whitefish Bay himself in the mean streets out here.
And remember, I didn't grow up in the Bay.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of people know you from there. I'm just saying.
They do.
I'm going to raise my carb list and cheers to the Brewers spring training. Guys, spring training for the baseball season just kicked off. I love the MLB preseason. I love seeing the clips of the Brewers.
You can't call it preseason.
Preseason, spring training, whatever. I'm cheersing to seeing clips of the Milwaukee Brewers back on the diamond in sunny Arizona. It just brings back a bunch of optimism. The describing factors that Kyle and I were talking about when it starts to get warm outside. Summer's on its way. Brings back all the feels. I love seeing spring training start. Cheers to that, and baseball season be on its way here soon.
Yeah, so for me, I'm going to keep the cheers here local, Ben. Cover your ears up because you may not like this one. And you know what? I'm a fan of Bucky, but also cheers to Marquette for being top 5 again and finding their way. So I'm going to say cheers to the Marquette Golden Eagles for finding their way back into the top 5, even though they did get beat up by UConn. But cheers to Marquette for finding their way back into the top 5 in the AP poll.
Fraud. Excuse me.
You said fraud.
No, I didn't.
Who's a bigger fraud this year, the Badgers or Marquette?
I didn't say fraud.
What did you say?
I said fraud.
Because both of them are
you're
frauds
saying
to me.
Freud.
But cheers to Marquette. Because we already cheers to the Admirals, who won again, I believe.
No, they just
19.
lost.
What, they lost yesterday?
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Yep, they broke this 19-game winning streak.
Oh, they was 18 on Friday, and then I saw that they won. Oh, well.
I'd like to pour one out to the losers who want to ban court stormings. I just want to play this clip because this summarizes people who want to ruin all the fun without coming up with any solutions, because there's a million solutions to keeping the players safe and letting the kids have fun.
But you don't have to stop the court storming. One time, all you have to do is once they're on the court, don't let them off. Just say you're all detained and give them all citations or arrest them if you want to. And then court stormings will stop the next day. The fans feel like it's an entitlement, and the universities like it, and the truth is we like it.
That was Jay Billis on ESPN. You are detained. You cannot move or leave. We can't stop you from running on the court. So now that you're on the court, we think we can control you now. What are we doing here? Pouring out to all the losers, not trying to figure out the best way to keep court stormings happening because they've been happening for the last 50 years, and just being smarter with how we do them. Golly.
Yeah,
you are detained.
That is such an old approach to it without even just thinking. Let's just react and make the penalties absurd. I'm gonna pour one out to my back, and here's why. I try to I try to work out, try to stay fit, but man, I'll tell you what, this weekend, Saturday primarily, we worked on moving a bunch of our stuff, a lot of our stuff that's still at our parents' houses, trying to get it into our house. We're talking desks and dressers and boxes and all that kind of stuff. Man, that is a different type of fatigue, different muscles that you got to do to spend a whole day doing that. I was sipping carblesses like crazy that night just to relax and recover. But man, moving, I can't imagine what you just experienced, Ben, in moving. I forget how much that just wrecks your body. Felt my age real quickly right there. Pour one out to my body that's just deteriorated on Saturday.
Moved 1 week before having a kid.
Oh, painful.
And then my back didn't get any better on that hospital bed, I'll tell you that much.
Ooh, I bet not. Well, I'm going to pour one out here. The hot tubs in the winter. That's what I'm pouring one out for.
Oh, this is the worst take.
This is a bad take.
This is the worst take of all
Airbnb
time.
this weekend, and people it was literally on Friday going to Saturday, it was single digits at 10 o'clock at night. It was cold, and people are still in the hot tub. And they say, hey, Kyle, you want to join? Heck no, I don't want to join. It's freezing outside. So pour one out to those who love to get in the hot tub when it's freezing cold outside. That's thumbs down. Pour one out to you because you're going to catch pneumonia.
That's a horrible take.
That's just
a hot tub.
I don't
when
think
it's
I
cold
asked.
outside.
I don't. Chris, this isn't.
You spoke, and now you need to hear from us.
This isn't response to Kyle's take segment.
Pour one out for your take because a hot tub in the wintertime is the best way to experience a hot tub. The best way.
When I go to my dad has one because he's got a bad back, bad body. He always has it ready and is offering it.
You said Marquette was a fraud.
Sounds like an anti-court stormer. The more we throw out the show,
you sound like a person who's trying to commit some type of insurance fraud. That's what it's trying to do.
Insurance fraud.
I got sick. I don't know how. Maybe because you were just in this hot tub and getting out from this hot tub in minus 10-degree weather.
The worst.
Have you ever tried it? You were trying hot tub when it's cold out?
Don't plan on it.
Oh man, you gotta do it.
Nope, I jumped into Lake Michigan and then I ran out. That's all I'm doing.
That's way
That's
different
not
of
even like
experience.
comparable.
No,
In fact, it's the
and
exact
you did not
opposite.
jump in. You didn't go under.
Hush. The water is water. When you get out, the cold air is going to hit you. It's going to freeze.
But it's a completely different experience. Lake Michigan was freezing cold. You're going into warm water.
No, outside
it's
is
the
outside.
Opposite.
You're not going to change my mind here.
Oh, Kyle.
You're not going to change. And then here's the thing, though. They're in the hot tub with their shoulders out, and they're like, "Oh, it's nice here," but like, you got a hat on in the hot tub. Why is there a hat on in the hot tub? Make that make sense, because you're not supposed to be in the hot tub in the heart of the winter.
800-990-3776. There's nothing better than a hot tub in the winter. If you had take fall and spring out of it. I don't even think spring exists anymore, for the record. Would you rather go into a hot tub in the summer or the winter?
I would rather go into the spring. It's a little bit too hot. It's a little bit too
fall
hot in the
and
summer.
Spring out of it. Would you rather go in the winter or the summer?
A Wisconsin summer. Yeah, give me Wisconsin summer. I'm not going outside in that cold old weather. No, I'd rather go in Wisconsin summer.
There sounds nothing worse than being in 80-degree weather.
No, you said summer. I'm being very specific now. You know, I like the devil's in the detail. 60 degrees. And then speaking of devil, this is really far off, and I apologize. I called customer service yesterday for somebody.
Here comes Karen Kyle.
And he gave
Karen Kyle.
And the dude gave me, you know how they give the confirmation code of, after you talk to him?
Yeah.
The first things he said was 666. I said, ooh, the devil is a lie.
All right.
Good story, Kyle.
I didn't.
Did you say that to the
I did.
representative?
He thought it was funny. I didn't think it was funny.
777s, you scream back.
No, you gonna go to church. 666 is the
sign of the devil.
Yeah,
and I think 777 is
7 minutes in heaven.
7 is the number of completion.
Oh gosh. 800-990-ESPN. Jason Wilde joins us next, but first, gonna tell you about Scrapeman Sicilian Pizza because it is tasty, delicious, and what I go to when I need, look. If we're being honest, sometimes we look at going down the frozen food aisle, and then you look at your Palermo's and you pick it out. You're like, this is a day for when I don't want to cook. But the best part is, it doesn't have to be like that because it's better than cooking. Like, if you were to cook a pizza or cook something, I'd be like, that's good. But Scrapeman Sicilian's that dang good that you have the whole milk mozzarella cheese, the tons of toppings, the secret tomato recipe sauce, and you get the tavern style, the thin and crispy, the 2.5 feet of stuffed crushed cheese, and the OG Screamins. My favorite, Boss Hog. You have Besser's Revenge, Mother of Meat, Supremus Maximus, the Mambo Italiano.
Mambo!
Find your screaming pleasure and taste what all the screaming is about. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Jason Wilde's next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Student Athlete Support Fund is something I was looking at. I'm ultimately likely going to give to this College of Letters. Oh, jeez. I was in life.
Long week.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Zimbrick Chevrolet.
When was the last time you had your oil changed or your tires rotated? Do you need new tires, a battery, perhaps some windshield wipers? Zimbrick Chevrolet Service Center is equipped to help you with routine maintenance, major repairs, and everything in between. Get your free battery inspection coupon and schedule an appointment today at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Don't overpay. Shop Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie.
Main Street, Sun Prairie, Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Protect your dream home with American Family Insurance. And you can weather any storm. You'll also save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote. Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Jim Rutledge here for Hanson & Sons, Madison's #1 family-owned chimney and fireplace specialist. To celebrate 71 years of service, Hanson & Sons is offering 7.1% savings on any of their new high-efficiency installed fireplaces or their expert winter masonry chimney repairs. Replace that old, dirty, wood-burning fireplace with a new, high-efficiency, remote-controlled gas or electric fireplace. Sale ends February 29th. Go to HansonandSons.com today for more information. That's HansonandSons.com.
They say love is a universal language. Well, that's definitely true if you're talking about bacon. I mean, who doesn't love bacon? Forget the chocolates. Give the gift of bacon. It's everyone's love language. And you're going to love it that our bacon's on sale right now. With quick hot savings, we're taking bacon down to $2.49 a 12-ounce pack. Limit 2. Savings on bacon? Whoa, that's 2 love languages at once. And we're multilingual like that. Quick Trip. We're saving your bacon.
Spring will be here before you know it, and so will Mark Osiki's 6th annual Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament, Saturday, May 18th on the Madison Chain of Lakes. Created to help children who are fighting cancer at American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center. There's a limit of 80 boats for a fun day on the water before 2:30 happy hour at Alliant Energy Center, a silent auction, dinner, and a live auction at 4 o'clock. Help us help the kids. Casting for Kids, Saturday, May 18th. Sign up or donate at castingforkids.org.
Big trailers and big opportunity. Since 1962, Stoughton Trailers has been a family-owned and operated business. With competitive wages and excellent benefits, plus growth and advancement opportunities, Stoughton Trailers is an exciting place to grow your career. Join the collaboration, innovation, and dynamic team atmosphere at Stoughton Trailers, with positions now open in production, operations, finance, sales, engineering, supply chain, and more. Go to stojobs.com to apply today. Stoughton Trailers, big opportunity.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community, and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I'm Shanola Hampton. I support the Feeding America network of food banks because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Joining us now on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin is Jason Wilde of Wilde and Tosh, which you can hear 9 to noon across these very stations. Jason, good afternoon.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Doing well. You're the perfect person to help us answer this question. We are...
I'm definitely not a perfect person, that's for sure.
Well, I think maybe some people... maybe
You're pretty darn close,
yeah.
Jason.
Oh, thanks, Brad. You're so kind.
You know I was going to come in and defend your honor.
I mean, he just said he wasn't a perfect person.
I was pretty darn close.
I'm not a perfect person. Is there a song that?
Yeah,
that
was. I'm not.
What is that? Simple Plan, maybe?
Perfect person.
Cuba Stank. Cuba Stank, I think was the name of the band.
The Reason?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the song name.
You're the reason I do this show, Brad.
Jason.
Oh, wow. Hey! Oh!
With the low fare over?
I'm sorry. What? Yeah, we're done now. Why am I perfect for this question?
Because.
And what is it?
The question is, of the last 2 draft classes, which player do you think needs to make the biggest jump?
Oof. All right. Well, let me look at the last 2 draft classes, but I would say
for our poll to help Jason, LVN, Quay Walker, and
Devontae Wyatt.
Yep.
Look, I think the 2 guys that have to make the biggest jump, and I don't need to look it all up to say these 2, are the 2 first-round picks from the 2022 draft. I'm sorry, I've not been impressed by Devontae Wyatt. He's had a few flashes where you look at him and you go, okay, he's got some really good quick twitch. There's some talent here, to be sure, but I have been underwhelmed by him, and I think that there's always a danger. I mean, not that you would ever draft a punter in the first round, but when you choose defensive linemen in the first round, I just think I've always felt like those are a little bit risky propositions because you can obviously go boom, right? Aaron Donald. I would say Kenny Clark has turned out to be a very good pick from the 2016 draft. He hasn't necessarily been a dominant player, but he's been a cornerstone player for them. But Devontae Wyatt, he was a rotational player at Georgia, surrounded by a lot of great players, and I don't think that he has been as good as you would like him to be, especially with a second year under his belt now, right? And so he would be even more so in my mind than Quay Walker. The thing about Quay Walker is he's a guy they need to be a stud, like a big-time player. And I'll be honest, I thought after what he did in the first game, right, with the pick-6 touchdown in Chicago, I thought that was the start of a breakout season for him. And as it turned out, I mean, he wasn't bad. I didn't think he was bad at all, but he wasn't a field-tilting player. He did not make a colossal jump like you hope for your second-year players to make. So I would say that those 2 guys are at the top of the list. The Watson thing, look, I think we've seen what he's capable of when he's healthy, but they've got to get that figured out because he doesn't do them a lick of good unless he's able to be out there more than he has the first 2 years.
Jason, it concerns me that Matt LaFleur doesn't attend the NFL Combine. I went as far as calling it an organizational failure and a travesty. Now, I understand the silo system. I understand he doesn't have much, if any, say in who they draft. But I still think it's helpful to understand players' character and getting them ready to play when they eventually do become a Green Bay Packer, and it's a draft and develop team anyway. So, I mean, do you share my concerns that Matt LaFleur not being at the Combine is at a minimum suboptimal and at maximum an organizational failure?
Yeah, and not only that, but here's the part that I didn't understand today. Like, and again, I'll confirm this, but I asked somebody with the team, is it just Matt who doesn't go? I assume all the assistant coaches still go, right? And he said, I don't think so.
I think
And
the
so
whole staff
it's
is
the
not going.
entire staff. Yeah. And so to me, that was even more surprising. Like, I could see if Matt had a bunch of big picture things that he had to get taken care of, right? I guess I could see that, I should say. I don't understand it either. I'm with you. I don't get it. I'm going to give Matt a little bit of grace here and just say I have not gotten to ask him for his reasoning. He didn't do it last year either. I got to go back in my archives and see if at any point he explained what his thought process was. Now, this all started after the 2020 scouting combine, which I attended right before COVID hit. And then I haven't been back since either. So Matt and I are on the same program. But like 2021, a lot of people didn't go. And then the last couple of years, I don't get it. I just, and as I mentioned on our show, according to our buddy Rob Domofsky, I think he had from his NFL Nation colleagues at ESPN, I think it was 12 out of the 32 coaches not planning on going. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a third of the league.
It's a lot.
Which more than a third of the league, which I think is crazy. So yeah, I don't get it. I am with you on this, but I would like to give Matt the opportunity, not that he has to explain himself to me, but if I'm going to rip him, I would like to at least know what his reasoning is before I go, that's dumb. You should still be going.
Jason, I mean, if the Packers are finding a formula of success of him not going, and we'll talk about the next two draft classes or the last two draft classes. If the Packers are okay without him going and they still have an opportunity to bring somebody to Lambeau, is it that much of a big deal that he's not going?
Well, you only get to bring 30 players to Lambeau, and they tend to use those on guys that are priority free agents or late round picks. So I don't think that they necessarily are in a position where they're, able to just look at it as, well, we'll just bring in the guys that the coaches might want to talk to, because that's not going to be the case in the early round selection. So, and look, Kyle, I know you've been accused recently of having your green and gold glasses on.
Oh, really?
I know. You've said it yourself, in fact, in our conversations. But when I look at last year's draft, I see Zach Tom, who is a stud, and I see Christian Watson, who looks like he's got some ability, certainly, but if he can't stay healthy, it doesn't do them any good. But I'm not sold on Quay Walker. I'm not sold on Wyatt. Romeo Doubs has certainly been a more consistent contributor. They've got Rasheed Walker, who could be their left tackle. So that is a good draft. The problem I have is I'm not willing to say that it's a very good draft or a good enough draft where you can look at it and say, well, we don't have to worry about sending the coach to the scouting combine because we've got this whole thing figured out. Like, I don't think they're that good. And obviously last year's draft, there's a lot of promise there, but again, I think we have to be careful of being too, head over heels in love with all those picks, because there's plenty of guys in the league. I'm not saying the Jordan Love, is he going to regress question. I don't think we have to worry about him personally, like some other quarterbacks after Brad did his extensive study of great first years as starters at quarterback. But we have to there are guys that are going to backslide, maybe a little bit, maybe a lot, maybe some of them will take huge leaps forward. But I don't think you can use these last two drafts as evidence that they've got this whole racket so figured out that the coach doesn't need to go.
Yeah, I find that answer really interesting, because if you think about what we thought of, Watson and Doubs heading into 2023, you would have thought coming out of this year they would have been, 1A and 1B for, the guys, and Jaden Reed obviously leads them in. So, that's where I go next is you kind of hinted at it, Jason, of the 2023 class, who would you think takes a step back?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Ben, I'm not gonna predict that right now. I mean, who knows? I want to see what they do in the off season. It's interesting. One of the things that I try to do once they get back together and we get to see these guys during off-season practices is who looks different, better or worse, right? Like, this guy looks like he gained a lot of weight, or this guy looks slimmed down and looks faster, or he looks more decisive. And So that's all the stuff that we'll start looking at. They start their off-season program on April 15th. OTA starts sometime in May. So, I'll have a better feel for that by then. But again, I'm not saying that any of them are going to regress. It's possible that they all have really good foundations and they're going to sustain what they did. Now, you don't want them to plateau. You want, the old saying about either getting better or getting worse. You want to see them continue to get better. But to me, this is obviously a group that you're excited about their potential, but just because they went 9-8 and won a playoff game and had the NFC champs on the ropes doesn't mean that they get a free pass all the way to next year's Super Bowl. They've got a lot of guys that still have plenty to improve upon and plenty to prove, and we'll have to wait and see what they do.
Jason, we appreciate the time, and we will talk to you on Thursday.
I look forward to it, fellas. Take care. Be good.
That's Jason Wilde. Listen to him on Wilde and Tausch from 9 to noon across these very stations. You can get our Twitter poll on at KBN, ESPN, of the last two Packers draft classes. Which player do you think needs to make the biggest jump in 2024? Christian Watson leading the way at 48.5%. Lucas Van Ness second, and then Quay Walker. And again, I actually think it's Quay, man. I really do. When I look at what they're doing, changing defenses and needing consistency out of their first-round draft pick that they had in 2022, mine goes to Quay, but we'll continue to get your reaction. But first, Brad, you got to tell us why you love carbless.
I sure do, because, guys, after we did all that moving stuff on Saturday, I just needed to relax, go down to our Nortman fridge, open it up, and grab all those carbless and just sit back and relaxing. In fact, between Lexi and I both, my wife, we cleared out our fridge. We have no more carbless left. That means this weekend, I'm going back to the grocery store and getting more. That's because carbless has everything I want in an alcoholic beverage with real handcrafted vodka, tequila, rum. These cocktails, they've got no carbs, no sugar, no gluten, and honestly 100 calories per can, that it makes it so that I can enjoy that and not have the regret and the guilt that I might have with some other alcoholic beverage. Less carbonation, that means less bloat. I feel so good when I drink it. It's refreshing, but it doesn't make my stomach upset. It is just, it's A+ across the board. I was also talking about how excited I am about the Brewers training starting. Guys, they are the proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers. So Carbless knows exactly what it means to have a good time, and they offer so many different flavors, from their classic cocktails of Paloma, Margarita, Moscow Mule, Mojito, and also all the different fruit ones like cranberry and lemon lime and raspberry pineapple. There's so many. There's something for everyone. Give Carbless a try. It's starting to be nice weather outside. You're going to think you're enjoying it so much and be able to enjoy this cocktail and understand why less is more. Find them at online and at retailer near you.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
DKB, they get all my love, all my energy, and all my time. I'll be danged if GKB and Craig not going to allow me to take my half-an-hour boo-boo. If I need to do that, they need to allow me to do that.
That's your whole lunch break.
I don't even take a lunch break. I work during lunch.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts. The Wisconsin Badgers football team has filled out their coaching staff for the upcoming season, according to ESPN's Pete Thamel. Reported Thursday, the Badgers are hiring Air Force defensive ends coach E.J. Whitlow as their next defensive line coach, replacing Greg Scruggs after just one season. Whitlow was previously at Miami of Ohio and Grand Valley State, where he spent time with current Badgers outside linebackers coach Matt Mitchell. Last season, in charge of Air Force's defensive ends, the Falcons had the #1 total defense in the country, as well as the #2 passing defense.
Get 0% interest for up to 3 years, or get no money down, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
Cozy up your home with fresh cabinets from SprayNet of Southern Wisconsin. SprayNet knows that the kitchen is the heart of your home. Let them help you fall in love with it again. Quicker and more affordable than replacing your cabinets, SprayNet can have your kitchen cabinets looking like the day you first saw them. Their exclusive painting technology and technique will have your kitchen transformed in less than a week. Schedule an appointment today with Dale, the owner of SprayNet of Southern Wisconsin. Go to SprayNet.com.
Hey, remember when we were having conversations without words like inflation, recession? Yeah, I miss those days too. So at Quick Trip, we're feeling a bit nostalgic. So we've lowered the prices on all our take-home meals. Every day, not on second Tuesdays or every Good Friday, every day. Make your next meal a trip down savings lane with chicken, bacon, mac and cheese, just $4.99. Or spaghetti and meatballs, $5.99. Quick Trip, we got mealtime savings nostalgia covered.
Hey, it's Alex Strofe. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on Twitter for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview of the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
You're probably being overwhelmed with information about semaglutide, the game-changing FDA-approved weight loss treatment. Jim Rutledge here. I was like you. I didn't know what it was until I saw Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. He can walk you through the benefits. He can tell you if it's right for you, and then you could come up with a plan to change your life with a workout plan and semaglutide. With that plan, I dropped from 20% body fat to 10% body fat, and I dropped over 20 pounds of fat and kept my muscle. You can do the same thing. Go see Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I'm not a perfect person. There's the song we couldn't figure out Jason was singing. The Jason I just referenced is Jason Wilde, who joined us, and you can catch that on Wisconsin On Demand. Because we are Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, taking you until 5 o'clock here in Milwaukee, till 4 o'clock here in Madison. But I got to tell you about the Princeton Club real quick, because they've been there for me since I've joined, and I love the club, the atmosphere of all the people that are there. Knowing that when I am there, I'm working towards my better tomorrow. 8 Madison locations, a New Berlin location. I've done personal training. They have free childcare with the membership. I got to reiterate, free childcare with the membership. So as my baby girl gets older, I know that I have a place to drop off, get my health where it needs to be, open 24/7, and always investing in the club. So have the courage to go in there and check it out, and you will not leave disappointed. You will likely become a member. That's the Princeton Club. On Twitter at KBN ESPN, of the last 2 Packers draft classes, which player do you think needs to make the biggest jump in 2024? I believe it is Quay Walker. What say you, Brad Nortman?
To me, it's Lucas Van Ness. When you look at him, the first-round draft pick of the 2023 draft class, he was coming out of Iowa, nickname Hercules. I mean, that just says everything you need to know about what kind of energy and strength he brings to the table. We saw him in flashes a little bit last year, but when I see Lucas Van Ness in this new defense, he can either play the inside D tackle or an outside D end in a 4-3, so he's versatile. I don't think he's this good, But I get vibes of J.J. Watt if he can continue to be that kind of player, because that's what J.J. excelled in. J.J. excelled on strength, a little bit of speed, but primarily strength, and apparently Lucas Van Ness is known for his strength. If he's the kind of guy that you can put in there and have a motor, throw guys around with Rashawn Gary, Preston Smith, if Lucas Van Ness can step it up, we're talking about an elite-level defensive line that's going to cause a bunch of problems for opposing offenses. So it's got to be, to me, first-round draft pick in Lucas Van Ness, where you have put resources and money. It's a system that he should be successful in several different spots in it, and he has what it takes, whether it be size, strength, and speed, to be a major disruptor. So for me, I'm seeing Lucas Van Ness. If he can take that big step forward, it's going to mean so much for this defense.
Yeah, when I look at it here, I mean, again, Lucas Van Ness, you can't really go wrong with many of these answers.
Yeah.
And defensively, the Packers do need guys to take step forwards. They need guys to get better. But when I look at it, Jason alluded to a guy earlier in Christian Watson. Christian Watson is a key piece of this offense. Jason said, when we see him when he's healthy, he is dynamic. He is a big play threat. And if we want this offense to be unstoppable, we already saw what Jaden Reed can do. We saw glimpses of what Tay Wicks can do. We know Romeo Doubs is going to be the dependable receiver that you can count on in big moments. If you are able to add in a player like Christian Watson, who can take the top off the top of the defense, open up things underneath for guys like a Jaden Reed, for like a Romeo Doubs, or a Bo Melton underneath your tight ends as well. Bo Melton had big games.
Game and a half.
Yeah, okay, exactly. But Christian Watson, if he elevates and reaches the potential of what he can truly be, this team, this offense is that much better, and it makes your offense a big, big threat in the playoffs.
Chris, I think we need to implement something where when Kyle goes too far on his green and gold goggles, we can play a sounder, like not an but you were doing so good. And I was like, yeah, I can get down with what he's saying. Then he throws Bo Melton in there. Who knows if Bo Melton's going to be on the dang team?
You're so disrespectful. You were sitting there at we're playing against the Bears talking about, okay, Bo, okay, looking like Donald Driver. You were saying all that. Don't sit here in front of my boy Bo.
You compared Bo to